All right, everybody got me? All right, well, first of all, I want to give Alabama credit. My goodness, they've been the standard in college football, and there's for many years, and very sound in all areas. In order to beat a team of that caliber, you can't make mistakes, and we were unable to play mistake-free football. And when you play against a team of that caliber, and they make you pay. And we had 21 points off turnovers. I did think, though, offensively, I was encouraged to see us execute better. Still not to our standard, but definitely executing better, allowing us to grow our offense and grow our installs. Ty continues to feel more comfortable. I think you've really seen that. I know I've seen it. We've seen it over the past few weeks, and the more he plays, the more comfortable he gets. But I did think that this unit definitely improved. We've got to protect the football. That's the number one job. That's the number one job of a quarterback. That's the number one job of a wide receiver, of tight ends, of running backs, is ball security. And we were unable to do that. We had 2 fumbles that led to 14 points, and obviously the 4th and 1 that we couldn't convert led to another 7. Rakeem Boyd continues to improve. It's really good to see his progress still growing. Our tight end production continues to improve. We had 9 explosive plays. We were 5 of 6 in the red zone. We were much better on third down offense, but there's still a lot of room for improvement. Defensively, I did not think we gave ourselves a chance. We got out-leveraged starting on the first play of the game, and it happened several times throughout the game. And with a team of that caliber of speed, it doesn't take much to get you out-leveraged. We only got them in 6 third-down opportunities. When we had opportunities to make plays and make stops and it didn't go our way on a certain play, we were unable to let that play go and play the next play. And I thought that we let one bad play lead to another bad play, and didn't create turnovers. That's one of the things that we always talk about, is creating a minimum of 3 turnovers. But there were times that there were some good things that happened. There were 4th and 1, and the score was 21-7, and we found a way. We just couldn't be as consistent as we needed to be, and especially against a team of that caliber. Special teams, I thought that we neutralized a lot of their strengths. Their return game was explosive as anybody we've seen. I thought we executed our plan. It was good to see Davion get loose, and that's what we've got to have moving forward to help this football team grow and continue to get better. 3rd week in a row, we're playing one of the top offenses in the country, and Ole Miss has an extremely explosive offense that's very experienced. I had 814 yards last week. They do a lot of things that challenge you defensively, but very experienced. Quarterback's experienced. The wide receiving core is experienced. They got 4 returning offensive linemen. So you can see why that they are one of the top red zone offenses in our league and in the country, and also in total offense. Defensively, they've played well. They played well in some games. They've had a few injuries. This caused some setbacks for them, but very, very capable of playing well. When you turn the film on and you watch these guys play, they're very capable. They're a very aggressive style of defense. Create a lot of turnovers. I think they forced 11 turnovers this year. And they're number 2 in our league in red zone defense. So when you get down in the scoring zone, it's tough to come away with points. So we've got our work cut out for us. But as we move forward, and it has been and always will be about the Arkansas Razorbacks, and what makes our program and what makes our great state so special is the tradition and the passion for Razorback football. And not just in Northwest Arkansas, but across our entire state. And I cannot wait to go down to our home stadium at War Memorial there in Little Rock on a Saturday night, and I think it's the first time since 1999 that there will be a night SEC game. We're extremely excited about this, and I know that we're expecting the atmosphere to be incredible. I know the tailgating will be outstanding. The weather's going to be fabulous. But we need you in the stands for kickoff. And we need you loud, we need you excited, and we need this place to be rocking Saturday night at 6:30. And I'm excited about it, but so excited about this football team and moving forward. And with that, I'll open up for questions.
Hey, Chad, 2 questions. First off, do you plan to bus or fly to Little Rock and back? What are your plans travel-wise?
We will fly.
There and back? Okay. The second one, when you give up 639 yards, 65 points, do you look at personnel changes potentially on defense? How do you address that this week?
Well, I think you're always looking at personnel changes and competing at different positions and that whether you gave up 300 yards or 600 yards, you're always looking at how you compete out on the field and being able to have the competition that you need and have it practice to keep pushing each other and continue to grow.
Brian Wallace's status, and then the other would be just if people start comparing scores, and they'll go to that, Ole Miss getting beat by Alabama 62-7. Do you kind of warn your team about that, or just say, disregard comparing scores like that?
Well, first of all, Brian will be back. We anticipate him coming back, and when you start looking at scores, it's really there's a lot of different things that play into the mix. I mean, it's about us. It's about us getting better. And how can we focus on our process of just improving every day? And you don't have to look far. I mean, you could look at that. You can look at the records and see. Well, I mean, from their record to our record. I mean, we got a lot of things we need to worry about inside our own house.
I want to ask you about the evolution of the offense, how it's come about that 4 weeks ago you didn't do this kind of thing, and then you did it against Alabama. And Ty mentioned that y'all borrowed a play from the Chiefs. So I'm just kind of wondering, how the plan came about last week.
Well, I mean, you're always looking for, innovative ideas and things that you look at and to continue to grow. But a lot depends on the comfort zone of Ty and his progress and what he feels like that you can continue to add to him and not overload, not just him, but all our guys. And so, I would say we're probably 30% of the offense is installed, but we'll slowly add to it. But we'll only add to it, as I say, say every week, is what we can execute and what we feel comfortable with. There's a lot of things we'll go in with on a Tuesday, and we'll take out by Thursday because we just can't execute at the level we need to be at.
Coach, a couple questions. Our status of DevWall for this week, and also with recruiting in Little Rock, I know there are some stipulations on, I think you can bring recruits there. I don't know if you can, what kind of communication and kind of other stuff you can do with them.
Yeah, the recruits can get tickets. We cannot have any interaction with them there at the stadium. We anticipate DevWall being back, and we'll know more on Tuesday.
They had a game against Ole Miss in 15, and so I guess this was your first year at SMU, and it's called the Henry Heave around here. And I'm wondering, during the course of your week, did you see have you seen any of the highlights? Because it's a 4-game winning streak Arkansas has, and that was kind of the play of the year, that one.
Yeah, I've seen the play, and I've had a chance to watch it, and obviously just the just sums up the never give up attitude, the never give up fight. And I think that you saw that on that play, and guys were not giving in and giving up.
I know you've talked a lot in here about how you're involved in the offense and defense and all that. It looked like you may have been more involved a little bit with the play calling on Saturday, just from a perspective of
Yeah, Joe and I work great together. He's calling it, and he and I are communicating every play. I mean, if I don't like something, I'll say it. I'll offer a suggestion. I mean, he and I got a great relationship as far as it goes. And I'll know what I want, and I'll say it, and he'll get us in it. And but we work together with that, and I'm excited about the progress that we've made, offensively over the last few weeks.
Warren, just kind of what brought him around. So as I recall, he got hurt earlier in the year, and just when did you start feeling confident in him again? And also T.J. Hammonds, was he hurt or anything as far as not playing? Or
No, T.J. wasn't hurt. We felt like that. Obviously the progress of Rakeem and the way he's been playing, and And as far as Davion, it was he got hurt in practice, and it's just really now kind of getting back to his full speed. So we'll continue to, he's such an electric return guy, and does some really good things to get the ball out on the edge to him. But we need to continue to find ways to get him the ball.
With getting Cole Kelly, having a package for him, in this day and age, if a guy loses a starting job, a lot of times he's transferring or maybe he's going in. I've seen a lot of guys going to shells or whatever you want to call it. And you've obviously found a good package for Cole. Kind of how'd that evolve, and just how have you thought Cole has handled that whole situation after that really tough game against North Texas?
Well, I think when you look at Cole, and I've said it in here, he's a fierce competitor, and he's like all of them. They all want to play. But he has accepted his role. He's become a great team player, very encouraging when you hear him on the sidelines, and encouraging and understanding what his role is, and he's excited about it. And and he'll be the first to tell you he just wants to do what he can to help this team win. And so that says a lot about him. And I got a lot of respect for a guy that has taken on on his role of this football team.
Coaching staff not necessarily give up on a guy, but if a guy's not doing what he's supposed to do, he kind of gets pushed back. With CJ, what did you see in him to keep driving him, and how much of a success he's had so far, just to get him to that point?
Yeah, well, first of all, we're not going to give up on anybody. We love each and every one of these young men, and they're a son, and they're learning valuable lessons in life. And as long as they take care of business, and we're in this to help them develop more than just to become a football player. And sometimes that's some hard lessons, and it has zero to do with talent. And so and that's always been my message. Coaching is take care of the things you can control, and a lot of them require zero talent. And if you don't do that, there's consequences for your actions. And so, we're not compromising. This is who we are. This is how we're going to get this program to where we all want it to be. And so I think that the message was sent loud and clear, and I think he heard it loud and clear. So, and it's really good to see him progress. I mean, this is 2 weeks in a row that there's been some good things happen, but what you see is on the field. What we see is off the field, too. A lot of really good things that are happening. I'm sorry? Just his approach to every day, coming in every day and getting better in every walk of his life right now.
Chad, 2 questions also about CJ. First one, looking at his production the past 2 games, did you actually expect that to be the case when he came back?
I knew he was extremely talented, but again, there's a lot of talented people out there that don't have success. It's how you channel it, and it's how you develop it. And so he is taken on the role and the responsibility of one of our pillars of our culture is accountability, and he's taken some accountability in this process too. And I think that when you see the way he has practiced the last couple of weeks, you understand that, wow, you have a very bright future, and we're here to help you see it.
Knowing some of the top tight end recruits that you're trying to bring in, what has been kind of the reception from them and seeing CJ do this in the offense these past 2 games?
Well, I think not just CJ, but I mean you had a lot of guys. I think our tight ends caught 9 balls last week, and targeted another 4 or 5 more times. I think this has been a progress of I think there's a lot of things that go involved here. Tom mentioned earlier about the growth of our offense, and so where we were early in the year, we weren't there yet. We just weren't. There's a lot of inconsistencies, and we had to get some things fixed before we could start getting all the puzzle pieces in place. And but I think not just tight end recruits, but I think recruits in general see that the progress that's being made, and the excitement level that what can continue to grow.
You've seen some upper level receivers this year, the Colorado State kid, a couple last week. Where does Brown kind of rank, and what do you see from him?
He's every bit as good as anybody we've seen this year. There's no question on that. He's very explosive. He's a great competitor. The guy gets a ball in his hand. AJ he's electric with it.
I wanted to follow up on that with the rest of their skill talent. What you think of Ta'amu and what they're doing offensively, their scheme?
Well, they do a great job. Again, they do a lot of things that put defenses in some conflict situations. But Jordan has done a really good job of coming in last year as a quarterback and taking on his role. He's very much a dual threat. He runs really well. Got really good size. I mean, he's 6'2", 210. Runs well. Does a good job keeping his eyes down the field. That's really kind of when he becomes to where he could hurt you the most, is when he is flushed out of the pocket and his eyes stay down the field. And you got to keep your eyes on those wide receivers if you're a DB. And I mean, this is a guy that's only thrown 67 incompletions all year long. He's almost thrown for 2,000 yards and 13 touchdowns, and only turned the ball over four times. And so he's playing very effective right now and very impressive.
It's the halfway point of the season. Just kind of where are you guys in terms of where you want to be and how far you've come, I guess?
Well, I think you could look at it. You could break it down by quarter if you wanted to. You got the first 3 games and the last 3 games. I mean, it's. I think that we've seen progress in a lot of areas. Obviously, that we haven't gotten to where we want to as far as the win column, but we're going to continue to focus on getting ourselves better, and that's what I would say. I would say that if you ask me, this is a football team that has gotten better, that continues to play hard and continues to fight and give the great competitive effort, and with that, the results will come. We'll just continue to focus on ourselves and the process of getting better every day.
You'd held Auburn and A&M to relatively low offensive, and then you said you got out-leveraged against Alabama. I wonder how much of that was mistakes that your guys made and against the speed and the talent that Alabama has.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I think you have to give them a lot of credit. They are very sound in all areas. I think it's a combination of both. I think that we, when you play off of somebody and you give a wide receiver a little bit of room, I think it really shows what kind of speed they have, because we played a little bit off of them, and when they did, and they caught some underneath balls and were able to pull away and separate. And I think that says a lot about their team speed. They're very fast and very explosive.
Screenshots after the game Saturday appeared your guys getting held. Are there plays that you're turning into the office that address with that?
Well, we turn in plays each and every week just for our own knowledge of how we can coach better and teach better, and so we do that each and every week.
Hey, Chad, I was back in '98 when Hal Mumme was a Kentucky coach. He got asked on a teleconference if Tennessee or Florida had a louder stadium. He actually said Little Rock was the loudest place he'd been that year. And Mike Leach was a coordinator that year, and he mentioned, like last year, I don't remember why, but he mentioned how loud it was. Have you heard about that? And I know, and you're looking forward to going there when it's not 30 degrees and snow flurries and stuff like it was in the spring.
Well, I'm excited to go. I have heard so much about War Memorial, and obviously being a college football fan growing up, and all the great history that has occurred in War Memorial Stadium, and to be a part of it and to be standing on the sidelines of where history has been created, I'm extremely excited to be a part of this, and I look forward to the loud, excited, rowdy environment that we know that our fans are going to be out in full effect and ready to go to support these Hogs.
Coach, how have you seen the offensive line grow throughout the first 5 weeks?
Well, I think a lot with very similar to what our team has done. We've been inconsistent at times, but I think that you've found, once we have found the right lineup that we feel like that gives us the best chance to be consistent in a long period of time, I think you've seen us get better. And I think that's what we've seen. Once we've settled in, once we've gotten Colton back, and Colton now has really playing more and more reps, which has allowed us to put Yelda at the guard and Ty at the center. I think that has been our best combination. And I think with that, you've seen the growth and us get better, especially against defensive fronts that we've seen over each of the last few weeks. Anyone else? All right, thank you.